us to look at it because I have met a lot of women that are suffering out there.
Yeah.
People that have BP, people that have developed fibroids, people that have developed many kinds of conditions. And when you look at them and how they get to bleed out and how they are not having regular menses and everything that is happening to them because of taking this one pill to make the husband enjoy. It is a kind of thing that is there, and people are getting to ask. Many women come and ask, is there any safe way that we are able to meet our partners without taking the contraceptive? And you ask them, what is happening? They say, I don't like my body. When I was just single and the time I got married, this is not how I was.
Hello guys, welcome to Young Future TV. This is your friend and brother Isaac, aka Uncle Isaac. Now, this is Young Future TV where we get to talk about different types of the things. Now, in the studio today, I'm joined by brother Muma, of whom he is going to introduce himself, all the things that he does as we proceed in asking questions about the things that he does. Brother Muma, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Hello, my name is Muma Tafuna, as he has stated. We run a ministry called Gilgo Institute. And those people that have been watching us from different YouTube channels, you discover that we have got a group called Gilgo Institute, and quite a number of things have been posted there. And I'm sure that the people out there know us for the medical part of our medical missionary work. Now we are Seventh-day Adventists by faith, and we do get to believe that God has not left this world to die, and that in the scripture there are things that are written with regards to our human health, and they get to deal with things that pertain to our health, and it is possible for us to live healthy and free from disease if we only follow the divine plan. So that is who we are. And that is what you will get from us as we get to speak today.
Thank you very much, Brother Mum. Now, as you have heard for yourselves, viewers out there and our YouTube fans, our YouTube subscribers, for those of you who haven't yet subscribed to our channel, this is the right time that you can go ahead and subscribe to our channel so that every time we post a new video, you are going to be receiving new notification of what is happening right now. Now, I just want to get to know, because right now we are going to talk about contraceptive pills.
Okay.
I'm sure there are a lot of people who are using contraceptive pills, both who are married and those who are single. For we all know that, according to the Bible, sex is not supposed to be practiced amongst the people who are single. But those are things that we are seeing nowadays. Those are things that are happening nowadays. So I would like you, Brother Moma, to tell us, or to tell the viewers out there, what are some of the dangers to a person, especially that person who is outside marriage? What are some of the dangers of taking contraceptive pills as a person who is single?
It is quite a nice question. I have to look at it from a different perspective. We may want to look at contraceptives and look at the dangers behind them. Truth be told, Brother Isaac, if you look at those particular tablets that are being given as contraceptives, there are a lot of list of adverse effects that are indicated behind those papers in the ones, the microgynons, the things that people are getting to get, the injectables and everything. And in fact, our women are educated on the side effects that they tend to experience when they get to speak them. They can actually tell you more than I can actually tell you. But your question is a little bit particular. It is telling me that I should speak about the dangers of contraceptives to single people. But the truth of the matter is that whether you are single or you are not, or you are married, the effect of contraceptives will be the same in either of them. And to speak about them in single people, I would just say, hey, they ought to watch it, because it is not biblical for two people to get to meet when they are single. So we are going to address it from a different point of view. We'll address it to people that are in the homes, that are married, and God has rightfully given them the privilege for them to be able to have intercourse and to be able to meet, it is a blessing from God. And that, the question that comes up is, how do people get to enjoy the blessing of God? And yet we are living at a time when the economy is very, very bad, that you don't want to have children anyhow.
Exactly.
I think you being a father, you get to understand how hard it is to get to put food on the table, especially in the times that we are living in.
And that just reminds me of something, because you see, nowadays people tend to say, I would rather have a child or maybe just two, because the economy is just so very bad.
But at the same time, they can't get to stay just with one child and then wait for 10 years without meeting their partner.
Yeah.
Okay. I get to see which angle you're bringing us to. But now let's look at it realistically. Because this is a matter that is actually affecting people out there.
Exactly.
I know on our YouTube channel we have not yet spoken about this matter. But I'm now answering to it because you have caught me on the way and you want to hear from our side what view would take from our perspective, knowing what kind of treatments and the things that we are looking at. But then I want us to look at it because I have met a lot of women that are suffering out there.
Yeah.
People that have BP, people that have developed fibroids, people that have developed many kinds of conditions. And when you look at them and how they get to bleed out and how they are not having regular menses and everything that is happening to them because of taking this one pill to make the husband enjoy. It is a kind of thing that is there, and people are getting to ask. Many women come and ask, is there any safe way that we are able to meet our partners without taking the contraceptive? And you ask them what is happening. They say, I don't like my body. When I was just single and the time I got my, this is not how I was. But right now I can't even go back to my wedding dress and fit myself in there because they are obese.
Yeah.
They say, look, I'm tired of taking this thing. I don't want to do this, but if I don't do this, the next thing that will happen is that
obviously maybe my man will run away from me to say you are not able to meet me anymore. So in other ways, what you are saying is that they have got things, as those who are taking contraceptive pills, the chances of body changes are very high due to taking all those pills.
They get to variate how they react with different kinds of people. But there are some that are on the majority. They become obese because of taking the pills. That's one thing. The weight, they become too big in size and like what they expect them to be. And their partner married them when they were very small, and he loved them for what they are, and now suddenly they have changed. And you begin to look at these men going out and they're saying, I don't like the way my wife is looking, she's no longer attractive. So actually they have caused people to go out there to look for other parties and having extramarital affairs, which is adultery according to God. So what has brought it up?
Because of contraceptive pills.
That's number one.
Wow, viewers, as you are getting it there from Brother Muma, the effects are just so huge. Not necessarily to say that men should be going out there, but there are certain men whereby they married those women because of the structure, because of the way they look. As you all know, they say men are taken by what they see. Necessarily some person as the president of Zimbabwe, the late, who said men don't walk around with X-ray to see the inner beauty. We see the outside beauty. So maybe this man saw the outside beauty and then followed this lady and approached her, became married and all those kind of stuff. And now they have changed the stature because they've been taking those contraceptive pills. Hence, the man doesn't like it anymore the way that woman is looking like. Now, I just want you, Brother Muma, to help us in understanding those women who are taking this, because obviously they wouldn't want to lose their marriages. Okay, yeah, they wouldn't want to lose their marriages, so they plan themselves not to stop taking these contraceptive pills because they cannot obviously stop meeting their partner because they are married. Now, what advice can you give? Is there any other way that they can use rather than taking contraceptive pills?
Okay, maybe to just lap up the previous question that we have before we go to the next one. It is looking at it from an angle that there is actually a long list of adverse effects that come as a result of taking them.
So that's
and the viewers out there, as they look direct to the screen and looking at us, I believe there is a faithful woman out there that is getting to say, I know that what they are saying is true. But the truth of the matter is that I don't know how to learn out of this world. Now, they have got hypertension that is troubling them. They all grew up, no BP medications, but suddenly they're taking these pills every day. And you see, these pills for the blood pressure that are coming as a result of taking a contraceptive pill can be deadly, because imagine they are still taking this and they are taking that. Two things going into the body, overworking the liver and overworking the kidney at the same time. So what is going to happen to these women in the long run? And as you go on from there, you find that as they become obese, they are prone to having diabetes, type 2, or either whatever kinds of diabetes they get to experience. But then they start jabbing themselves with the insulins, and they start taking the diabetic medications that also come with other adverse effects associated with them. We are not only just talking about that. There are cancers that have resulted from these kinds of things that are being taken out there in the street. So what we are saying is, we love the people out there. We get to enjoy knowing that husband and wife are getting to be together. But look, the Bible in Ephesians says, husbands, love your wife as Jesus loved the church, to the point of death. So if we are going to love our wives, at times it may not hurt to just love your wife so much that you can crucify a little bit of your passion so that your wife can be saved. Why kill your wife to just gratify your own passion? Is that a kind of savior that we have out there?
Okay, I get you. Now, there are some Christians who would say, I wouldn't want to take contraceptive pills for certain reason because I'm a Christian, and they would even go further and say, God says, go and fill the earth. So now, to those kind of people, would you still advise them not to take contraceptive pills and say, okay, it's fine, you can go ahead and have children, as many as you want?
Remember, it is not wrong for us to tell them they can't do that. But Paul cautions them in one angle. He tells them to say, do not bring into the world things that you cannot take care of. So to bring children into the world and fail to be responsible about them and give them the needs that they need as a responsible parent is also a sin on another direction. So there is no running away from the balance here and becoming irresponsible and use the name of Christianity to support hypocrisy. That is not what God is trying to say.
So in other ways, because there are those who say it's wrong, perhaps it is a sin to take family planning or contraceptive pills. So as a Christian, you are highlighting the people to say we shouldn't be ignorant about it, as Paul tries to highlight to us to say, don't bring into the world what you cannot support. So it is actually not a sin to take family planning as a child of God.
The question is, look, when you say family planning, it means it involves both the husband and the wife. But from what I look at contraceptives, that's not family planning, because the husband is not involved in it. It's just the woman taking the pill alone. How do you get involved with it? Because you still enjoy your thing. So how can you describe that as family planning? So definition of family does not suit in one person getting to play the part and the other person does not play the part. So to define them as contraceptives, as family planning, then it all fights the battle of English as family. So if any normal, reasonable person is listening to me at this particular moment, who would say, hey, this is not family planning. So in what direction are we going to go to? There's a difference between family planning and childbirth control. What is out there is childbirth control. A child is born and you kill it. That's not family planning. Family planning, according to God's method, does not involve murder in any way. I know I'm a little bit getting to a certain place where I'm not supposed to, but I need to stress the matter out.
You can go on, so at least we get to learn, we get to be educated, and I'm sure there are people out there who are getting to hear what you're saying and they are getting knowledgeable about this.
Okay. Yeah. So what we are trying to put up is, when you take the family planning, it gets to stop the hormones way in how they get to form up. So you find that there is an hormone in the females called estrogen. Now that estrogen is what helps to form up the uterus in the womb of a woman. And that uterus is what holds the baby when the fetal egg comes up from the fallopian tube. So when a man and a woman meets up, that sperm swims over to the fallopian tube and there's fertilization that occurs. So there is a baby that is already formed in there. And when it comes, it's supposed to be met in this uterus. But because of the contraceptives, they inhibit the formation of the uterus. So when the egg comes, instead of it being trapped down there, it is flushed out like an abortion. So in one way, actually, you have killed a life that has already been formed.
Because of taking contraceptive pills. So in other words, you're saying Christians should be taking control. Yeah, Christians shouldn't be taking this.
In another way, what we are saying, there is a plan that God has put in place. Now, I don't want people to mistake our statements right now, because we will speak it directly to say Christians should not take this, and then they don't know how to go about it.
So now, if you say there is a plan that God has put in place, what is that plan that people can take without them falling into sin? Because according to your explanation, you say it is actually more like an abortion, though it is not really that. But as a child of God, since you are trying to run away from that, what way can you use?
You said, no, it is not really that. Are you discrediting that it is an abortion?
According to the way you said, it's more like you kill the baby after it is being formulated.
Okay.
Yes. So now,
remember, Jeremiah is saying, before you were born out of your mother's womb,
I knew you.
I knew you.
Yeah.
Before you were formed
in your mother's womb,
I named you.
Yeah.
So, science says when the baby is still a zygote, it's not a baby.
It's not a baby.
But God says even before a zygote is formed,
yeah,
He already knows us, and by name.
Yeah.
So when you get to flash out that, who are you killing?
You have killed the baby.
Yes.
Yeah, according to the Bible, God says, I knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb. It's more like He's telling you to say, even before you were born, you existed somewhere, because obviously no one can know about you if you are not in existence. So according to God, you are already known. So now, as a child of God, if I take contraceptive pills, it's more like I'll be falling into sin. So what should I do as a Christian, as a child of God? I don't want to fall into the sin. What should I do? Or if there is any method that I should follow, I would love you to help us and help the viewers out there to understand. So, okay, at least try this and this and this and this. Perhaps it might work for you.
Okay. It is an interview, and in an interview you need to give answers. But then I would have loved actually if the viewers would have actually followed us, because I know we have got a full study on it that we are yet to upload on our YouTube channel with regard to contraceptives, step by step, so that people out there are able to understand. Because we need both husband and wife seated together, listening to it, because it's called family planning. It's not just one person making a decision. It is two people coming together and coming up with this set ideal on how to go about with it. But for the sake of answering, we will answer it in a different direction that every person out there is knowledgeable about. For instance, we've got a cycle. Now, most people will tell you that a cycle does not work. And there are many reasons to why the cycle does not work. One, there are stressful matters that a husband gets to do to their wives. That gets to distort their cycle. The diet that the people are eating out there gets to distort their cycle because it is full of hormones. The same contraceptives we are taking is distorting the cycle of both men and women. So in the sense of doing that, you cannot get to follow it up the way it is supposed to be. But naturally, when you read from Leviticus chapter 15, it is considered odd, but then there is a lot of truth in odd things. Ask any young person to tell you there is wisdom in people that have got grey hair. Even in our country, we do respect people that are old. So, if there is the Old Testament and the New Testament, I would want us to listen to the grey hair in the Old Testament. So, when you read Leviticus chapter 15, it tells you to say, when a woman is attending her menses, and it says 7 days, the woman is attending her menses. In that 7 days, he and the partner are not supposed to commit. Then it goes on and gives another illustration and says, after 7 days, the woman should number another 7 days. It is called a purification period. Science has it that the following 7 days that happen, that is the process of uterus formation. There is that process where the body is healing itself. So if the two meet, they actually disturb that formation of the uterus. And it gets to give women other effects that and desirable that we are actually going to look at in a proper
be more patient about this.
Now, that is the point where you're saying, if you love your wife like Jesus loved the church to death, you should also love her so much as to hold your last a little while, so that you can get to meet her at the right time. But it's not just that. You will discover that it is a benefit for men.
Yeah.
I will just explain it as we go on. Now, the third week is a period when fertilization is occurring. If a husband meets a wife, definitely you have a child.
Yeah.
You learn that from Solomon. He got to meet Bathsheba. That's David, David who met Bathsheba, the father to Solomon.
Yeah.
He met Bathsheba after a purification. Meaning, David understood that the first week is menses, the second week is purification, the third week is a fertile period. And when he met Bathsheba, she was pregnant. When Bathsheba came and says, "Hey, David, I'm pregnant," he didn't argue, because he knew the week in which he met her. So that 7-day period, you only meet your partner when you want to have a child. But there is a fourth week. It is called in science as a dry season. Now, in that particular season, when the husband and wife meet, there's no child. Are you getting it?
The dry season.
It's called a dry season. I want to believe that's what Paul usually quotes to say. When that period comes, husband and wives should not deprive of themselves, lest they be fornication. They can only decide to do that if at all they are fasting, because it is a period that God has given them as husband and wife to be able to enjoy freely without anything like that. So it is a family planning where you get to even follow the tune of your wife. Now, it is an interesting plan. I know people out there may be looking at it. How is it possible like this? You can't follow that plan if a husband is not loving the wife and the husband is not providing as the head of the house. The moment you put your wife in stress, our hormones are disbanded, and that plan is put in. So it is a measure that God has put in a home to keep husbands loving their wives at all times, so that they don't have children. Because if they don't love their wife, they will have an unexpected child, and then more money, and they will be punished to work more to provide more. So for them to be reservingly with their money, they will also be temperate. So it is an amazing plan by God.
Wow, very, very, very powerful explanation. And it tells us as men out there, for those of you who are watching and listening to us, to say, men, we should be very, very loving to our partners at all times. If at all you reach that extent whereby you have a quarrel or you have a misunderstanding with your wife, it is better you sit down immediately and apologize to your wife so that things can go back to normal. Now, Brother Muma, there's another question that I want you to help us. For those who are single, once they start taking these contraceptive pills, are there any chances of them not having children in the future because of these pills?
I will tell you truthfully, because I am out there and I am seeing them every day. And I do see a lot of young couples that have come and they are struggling to have children. And they don't even get to remember that it was what they did,
in the past.
That is the sad note about it. They think it is just an event, someone has bewitched them, someone is not happy of their relationship, or someone is jealous, or maybe someone was courting their husband and they have put a barrier. But truth be told, when you mess up God's body, it will shock you, because you will have something unbearable. It's not just that is going to happen, they are disturbing their hormone system. The hormones of the body, that is regulation. It means you are actually tampering with the entire system from the hypothalamus down to the entire body. So when you mess up that body organ, you see, these hormones, the estrogen and all these hormones that God has put in place in the human body, have got various functions to the body. They get to work with your tempers, your happiness, your moodiness.
Yes.
So by women taking that, actually, they are bitter. You find this man is innocent and marries this woman, but because of what she was taking, she's always bitter in his life, and they never get to enjoy their life out there. And they can't even explain where it is coming from. And at times, you see, I always tell people, at times, God, the devil is going to tell God, God, I don't know such kind of behavior. I know I'm evil, but this I'm not evil.
I'm not involved. Very true.
But then the truth of the matter is that it is because of the things that we are getting ourselves into. If you want to enjoy your married life, if you want to enjoy your sex life as a single person that is married, you want to keep yourself pure for that one person, and you are going to see how enjoyable it is. But before we get there, there's one point that I didn't stress out very clearly. You see, when you follow God's ideal of a man not meeting the woman through, and you give her time to be able to restore herself, you discover that actually you will have enough energy by the time actually you wait for her to reach that particular week. You'll be able to satisfy your wife, and you don't even need to take these pills like the blue diamonds which the men are taking to strengthen themselves.
Sorry to hold your thoughts just there. You've mentioned a very key word which you said you have enough strength even to satisfy or take your woman on. We have heard a lot of women complaining to say, I'm being untethered to my man, to my husband, probably because it's not satisfying me. So that brings me to the point which you were saying, we need to follow the process. Certain things just have to be followed. So it might be one of the causes in these homes that certain women are not being satisfied. It is because
there is excess.
Exactly. There is excess of the things that they are doing. They are not supposed to be done.
When you start working your body from morning to evening without sleeping, tomorrow you go to work, you will not be able to do anything. Exactly. You would want to sleep. It's the same with the human body. There is need for a restoration of the woman. So you need to be able to give the body. Actually, one study that I have, it's one thing that I need to be able to give to the people, is that when in a single ejaculation, in one single ejaculation, a man loses about 7 trays of egg. Now that's enough protein.
Just in a single ejaculation.
Just in a single one. If you just get that tablespoon, that's a lot of energy that a man gets to lose out. And now that needs to be replenished. And according to science, it takes 72 hours for that replenishment to get to happen. Now you find this family meet every day. Now what is happening is that actually men's prostate is growing. And that's why we are having a lot of prostate cancer. Now, in an era like today, a long time ago, old folks would live years and years without prostate cancer. Today, any man that reaches 35 years old is having prostate cancer out there. Why? Because they started masturbating at the age of 15. By the time they are getting to 25, 40 when they are married, they're actually not even capable of handling their own home. They have to depend on a pill to be able to attend their life.
Which is another effect that they are bringing to their body.
Yes, because the more you use that pill, the more dependent you are on it. You become useless with your wife unless the pill is there. So without the pharmaceutical world, you are not a man.
Really interesting. I hope viewers, you are learning something out there. Now, there is something that I would want you to help us with. If those women who take contraceptive pills, especially the young youths out there, they are not into marriage. They have totally gone against the words and the commands of God, because God is clear about it. Do not meet a man if you are not married. And they have gone away from that. Now they decide to sleep with this man and they get pregnant. And we know what these young boys and girls do. They normally agree and do abortion. Now, once they abort, does abortion, do you think abortion is also one of the reasons that would make that woman not to have a child once they get married? Because we have seen a lot of women who are complaining to say, no, since I've been married, it's 10 years now. It's 15 years, it's 4 years. I want a child, but I'm not having that child. Could it be that of that pregnancy which they aborted, it has now come back, it is affecting them, physically or spiritually?
I would answer it truthfully without any bias.
Yes.
Because I would tell you that there are people that have aborted several times and after marriage they still manage to have a child.
Yes, very true.
So we cannot conclude it from that angle on its own. The truth of the matter is that the effects that the body gets to receive varies with how your body is. We can do things differently and receive different adverse effects.
Yes.
For example, I have seen 2 people smoke. One dies instantly in the air of smoking and the other one stays 99 years without death. So you tend to wonder, why is it that if cigarette, and people want to use that as a justifiable reason to think maybe cigarette is not a problem, it's a weak body. But you see, the effects of this person may live that long, but then you don't know other complications that have come as a result of that. Yes. So each body has got its own weekend. And depending on where the weakness is, you get to feel the impact of that very thing that you are getting to take. So it is true that other people have survived contraceptives and have had their children. Others have survived their abortions and they have had their children. But one thing that I will tell you is it's not because they are strong or they are brave. Remember one part. Children are an heritage from the Lord.
Exactly. The blessing.
So, even if it is a prostitute out there, I want to believe one truth. Children are what?
A blessing.
I have seen a prostitute before that used to have do prostitution, and she had a child. And now because the child, the mother says, I will not take care of this child. This one says, I will not take care of that. So because of the child, that lady was removed from the world of what? Prostitution, so that she can become a mother and take care of this child. And the years that passed by, she came to meet the Lord. And because of that child keeping her in a place where she was away from the bar, the Lord used that child actually to get to reach to her and to confess of her past doings. So, God has got a plan. Others will learn better by not having literally any baby. At the end of the day, we should not lose focus of one thing. God wants you and me to go to heaven. What is going to make us go to heaven? He understands the heart of a person. He says, the heart of a man is decisive above all things. Who can know it? Then he says, I, the Lord, searcheth the heart. He knows what is capable of making you sit down. Is it not having a child that is going to make you stick around and peradventure you meet a person like me who is both a medical personnel and as an evangelist at the same time? And as I get to attend to your medical problem, I also reach to your soul that is dying. Even that is pleasing to God. So what is going to be a 10 in the end of the day? I don't know. But whatever God brings out for you, know this, young men and young women, it will affect you. But God is ultimately love.
Well, we appreciate those kind of answers that we are receiving right now from Brother Muma. Now, viewers, I only hope that you are going to drop your questions down there, because if those questions you drop them, it might make us actually, depending with the response that we are going to have, meaning we'll have another topic of Brother Muma here to explain more details, the effects, the dangers of contraceptive pills right now. Now, I just want you, as we are coming to an end of our interview, I just want you to advise someone out there who's taking contraceptive pills, and those who say, I want to start planning. Because, you know, sometimes it's very, very crazy and very, very surprising. You find that when you go to the clinic, you find a long queue. Whilst you look at those are young youths. Most of them, they're not even married, and they are busy taking contraceptive pills. So I want you to address the young ones who are not married, and even those who are not married in their range, respectively, on how they should take on, or what should they do about this.
It is a pity today people are more afraid of pregnancy than HIV.
Yeah, very, very true.
Okay, if there is someone that is watching us out there and you are getting to see this interview, I know Brother Isaac can be shocking. He's been asking questions from this direction and that direction, but I always believe that God has promised us that He will give us answers at any time when we need to be able to respond. And that's what we are doing here. Now, if you are single and you are out there and you are not married, my advice is you don't want to kill yourself. You don't want to eat the lips of your fruits, because there is a faithful husband out there that is waiting out for you. What kind of fruits do you want him to lip at the end of the day? So if you want a perfect person, I always say be perfect yourself. Because you see, Brother Isaac, what is true is that a woman is the lip of the husband.
Exactly.
So what the behavior of the husband is what kind of a woman you are going to be able to get. You will not get far from your own body. So when you are a man, whatever you are doing,
where you are, statement, you do not get far from your own body.
Yes,
very true.
So if you are a man out there, whatever you are doing, just know that your future partner at that particular moment is doing the same thing, even worse than you. Because you see, the woman is a double reflector of the character of a man. That is just one truth about life. So it is better not to die. It is better not to make your life and your future life miserable. Stop where you are. Believe that God is capable of forgiving all manner of sins and is capable of making a new heart in you and in me. And even in that venture, you are able to move that direction. You may be someone there who does not believe in this God that I profess of right now. But I will tell you that science itself proves it. Just go behind that pill and read all the side effects. Assess them with your body. And you begin to see that actually the mess is already happening inside your system. You are seeing your cycle is going up and down. You are seeing your body is getting abnormally out of shape. You are seeing that actually your blood pressure is uncontrollable. And sometimes you have got sugar and you don't know. But when you go to sleep, you can hardly get to sleep because you are frequently urinating. Your mouth is getting dry through and through and you're not realizing. There are small piercings that are passing around your hands and under your foot. The leg is getting that heatness. Now those are the symptoms that are happening to you, and I know that you want to be able to work that one out. It is the dangers that you have already started setting out. So just where you are, you can stop. And I believe if we can meet on any other portfolio. I know some people would not want to text direct, but they would want to come and find us where we are.
Exactly.
We are always there. We are medical missionaries. We move all over the world and anywhere people want us. And I believe that we can give a solution to that kind of a person, God's way alone.
We thank you very much, Brother Muma. Well, viewers, this has been Brother Muma that we have been interviewing, a very knowledgeable man. And it is always a blessing to be under the shelter of a very knowledgeable man who is able to share knowledge. You know, knowledge is very, very expensive. But if we have such kind of men who are able to share knowledge, especially knowledge that will bring you life, it is a blessing from the Lord. We really thank you, Brother Muma, for the knowledge that you have shared with us. We just hope that next time again we can have you so that you continue teaching the people out there. And for you, the people out there who have been watching us, if you really want Brother Muma here to come back and explain to us, please just drop your numbers there and drop your comments, drop your question down there so that we can come again and answer them. He is going to answer exactly the questions that you are going to be asking. As we are coming to an end of our program, this is your friend and brother Isaac, aka Uncle Isaac. Now, before we just cut off this interview, I just want Brother Muma here to explain more about the things that he does and where exactly you can find him. Brother Muma, can you please tell the viewers where they can find you and who are you for those who have missed our beginning?
Okay, as we stipulated in the first place, we are medical missionary workers. And like our Savior, we move about everywhere. Tomorrow you will not be shocked when you hear, oh, Brother Muma is in Zimbabwe, Harare, or is in Mansa, or he is in South Africa. The Lord gets to put us everywhere. And we've been to those places several times. And by God's grace, several healings, we have seen God at work. But what we are saying is, there is a YouTube channel that we have out there. It's called Gilgo Institute.
Gilgo Institute.
Yes, there are many videos that are on the channel. Like, for instance, we have this pandemic that is going on of COVID, and there's a video that was released of the Russian penicillin. And I can tell you, people have testified of how God has been able to help them with their after symptoms, how they lose their taste and they were able to regain them within few days of taking that particular remedy that God had inspired us to be able to share to the people out there. Now, there are people having piles. There is a good stipulated information on how they can treat hemorrhoids and piles out there on the YouTube channel. If you just type making Russian penicillin, you subscribe to it, there is a list of videos that we are doing. Disease and its cause from the Bible and how it gets to come out. You also find contrast, but those people with diabetes and diabetes wounds, and they want to get to know how to go about the procedures of treatments. They are actually all there, and we are still going to send more things that people want. Through your channel, our channel, they can still be able to pass out things that they would want us to talk about. We will great to appreciate it. And you can also post your number, and Brother Isaac is here. We have met today and is capable of sending to us what is happening. And if you have dropped your contact, we can get to you also. That is who we are, brother.
We thank you very much. So while viewers, you're heading for yourself, there will be a number that is going to be scrolling down there. You can just phone, then I'll be able to take you direct to Brother Zuma here. And you can visit his YouTube channel, Gilgo Institute, where you are going to find more videos. He's talking about different types of health, how you can keep yourself healthy, different topics. You are going to find them on his YouTube channel. So as the number is scrolling down there, as you are visiting his YouTube channel, you can drop your comment and you can give us a call. Then we'll be able to respond to you. This has been your friend and brother Isaac, aka Uncle Isaac. Until we meet next time.